Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got game 2 of a best of 3 between BabyKnight, who is the blue Protoss player in the lower right, who is playing against TSLRevival in the top left, who is the teal Zerg. So this is game 2. If you haven't watched game 1, it is uploaded, so pause this video, open up a new tab to my channel, find game 1, watch that, and then come back to game 2 because game 1 was awesome. If you have watched game 1, well, let's do a quick recap. There was awesome roach aggression out of Revival early on as BabyKnight tried to take a quick third, and BabyKnight somehow hold it even though there was roach drops, there was Hydras switch into there, and then finally got the Colossi out in time to deal with those Hydras, and then Revival had a really tough time dealing with the Colossi because they did get up into about 5 at a time, and that was really difficult to deal with. But eventually, just because Revival took out the main base and BabyKnight was unable to take down more, Revival was able to take the game. So, but it was really close. It was really awesome. So, wow, it's put a lot of pressure on this game to be huge. It is from the Zotac Cup, I think I mentioned that, and the map's TSLRevival, so what can we really expect here? Well, it's going to be a fast expand out BabyKnight. He's got this pylon on the low ground, that's the giveaway. If the pylon's here, it means they're expanding quickly. If the pylon was here, it means they're walling off. But on a map this huge, with it is just a huge map, it's a 4-player map, you don't know where people are spawning, then you are absolutely fine fast expanding on this map. We may even see a Nexus first out of BabyKnight like we did in game 1. What about Revival? Well, he's gone for a very early pull. That is a very early pull. So if he's only up to 12 now, that must have been like a 10 pull or something. But regardless, it's a quick pull coming out. This probe will see it though, and will that scare him? Well, not really. He just dropped the forge down. He's pretty happy. The second he saw that pull, its initial reaction is, well, let's build a forge. He can get the wall off if need be. Obviously, this is staying because now to see the Zergling popped, then that probe knows, well, there's some pressure coming on early. And this probe now has its work cut out and needs to build gateways as quickly as possible. You may actually see another gate chucked down, and there we go, a complete wall off. And BabyKnight is completely safe because he delayed the Nexus a little bit, and there's still a tiny little gap there. So the probe is suddenly like, oh, that is definitely a gap, so I'll just build another gateway. And then he's going to start cancel this gateway when need be, but there's no way 6 Zerglings can get through that wall before that cannon finishes. So essentially, BabyKnight, while he's delayed his Nexus, he's fine. He's like, well, I've delayed my Nexus a bit, but guess what? I'm going to have 2 gateways. But here we go, we're going to see this gateway start getting worked down and another gateway actually built. So clearly we will see here BabyKnight doesn't want to put anything to chance here. The cannon will finish up. It should have been fine, but that forward one actually cancelled, so I'm surprised down one was the cancel on it because it was damaged. But now there's going to be a really big area to defend. But here we go, a Cybercore on its way down, and there perfectly we will see BabyKnight fix everything, so he gets a perfect wall off. And now Revival, he's in a tough spot because he put a lot into that. He got a much earlier pull. His own expansion is only just up now. He needs to worry about getting a third. TSLRevival, not a great map for Zerg because of these horrible rocks. Now you may think, well, rocks aren't too bad, what's the problem with them? They have 3 armor. That means Zerglings only do 2 damage per shot to them, and as you'll see, it's already 5 minutes. If you want to get a third base out against a fast expanding Protoss, you need that at about 4 to 5 minutes. So already he's missed his opportunity. Those rocks are still up. They take ages to get down with Zerglings, like literally forever. And now essentially Revival's got to decide, what am I going to do? Is he going to go for a big 2-base play? Who knows? Is he going to try and expand in a more odd position like here? Possible. Is he just going to wait for these rocks to die? Like, just look at how slowly they go down. That's already 3 Zerglings, a 4th Zergling on its way out. We do have some Overlords coming in, but kind of boosting our Zealot here, that's a good choice. We've also got that Cybernetics called getting Warp Gate Tech, but where are the Chrono Boosts going? On the Nexus. That's a huge tell. The expansion down there for BabyKnight. This Overlord greatly positioned on high ground, so make sure you always, Zerg players, put it on a bit of high ground. You can also put it up there or up there, but basically it just means an observer has to be out to do anything. Still, these rocks just taking forever to die. Just don't. And really, Revival's now trying to macro up as best he can. But this Zealot, it's going checking the tower, just having a look around. What can we expect from BabyKnight? Well, after that push, he knows the Revival's going to have a tough time taking his third. So, to be honest, if I was in BabyKnight's position, I'd try and put some pressure on pretty early. Maybe not 2 base all in, but definitely something along the lines of, say, 5 gateways just to really make Revival sweat, delay his economy as much as possible. The first 2 gases just being taken, well, all 4 gases actually being taken now by Revival. He's still not got these rocks down. Remember, 4 minutes 20 ideal, we're nearly at 7 minutes 20, so nearly 3 minutes later than you want that third base to be hitting. Here comes some extra gateways, back up to 4 gates again. No robotics facility yet, which is the standard thing we saw in game 1. And, well, BabyKnight definitely looking like he's gearing up to put on some pressure. Doesn't have a forward pylon though, which would be essential. This one Zealot though, fighting in the middle line, the best place he can be fighting, and does finally get picked off, but guess what? Delays these rocks going down even more. And this is delaying the third base even more. This base probably won't even be down now that there's only 3 Zerglings attacking it till probably at least 8 minutes 20. If not later, maybe about 8 minutes 40. But, well, it's going to come down pretty quick. It's going. The drone already getting there. We see the mineral is getting very, very high. And all of these delays are quite substantial. So 8 minutes 30 when the third base comes down. Obviously, that is a lot later than it should be. And there comes down the lair. We've got more gateways being added on here. Can this Overlord see it? No, it can't. It has no clue. Knows something's building there. Knows the Twilight Council's coming out, but that is it. So these 2 hidden gateways, that brings him up to quite a few. Actually kills one off at the front there. That was a surprising choice, but third base being taken here by BabyKnight. He's going to be putting on pressure, who knows. But so far, all of the watchtowers are being taken by Revival. Obviously, these watchtowers are essential. Every Zerg player out there, take the watchtowers. Zerg is a reactionary race. If you see a push coming, you can react by flooding with units. If not, you can drone. Make sure you have all the information you need. It's not only about what the enemy's making, but also when they're making it and when they're moving out. So make sure you hold these watchtowers, it's essential. Third base still not up yet for Revival, and if you look at how much quicker Protoss can take down these rocks, you'll see why it's a bit of a problem, because we may get into a position where BabyKnight is only taking his own third slightly after Revival's, which is never fun. We've got the +1 carapace coming out, the macro hatch coming out, the infestation pit getting the pathogen glands, and, well, this is all actually starting to come together quite nicely. It's a Ling Infestor style out of Revival at the moment. I don't even think there's a roach one on the field, so we will not be seeing roaches. This is very Stefano style. How will he following on? Well, BabyKnight, he's actually kind of coming on a bit of pressure. Is there a probe coming with this? Because that's the big tell. No probe on its way, so that in itself says a lot. If there's no probe coming, there's no proxy pylon, which means no big amounts of damage going to be done. Not quite sure what that force field was for. Good question, but we do have this one Zergling coming to see the timing. Knows the BabyKnight is getting up his third base, and now Revival, well, I've got to take a fourth, and that's exactly what he's going to do. But the creep spread is not there yet. The creep spread actually a lot better than game 1 here for Revival, and I think that's essential. Creep spread, another really important tool. Make sure you get good at it. And, well, what we've got out, we've got hallucination coming out, we've got a robo facility coming out, and currently that's pretty much it. Blink is nearly finished up. This force is not enough to really put on pressure, but again, it's enough to defend very comfortably with. And we are now getting an awful lot more gateways added on. This is a complete wall off, and now essentially all BabyKnight has to worry about is this area. If he can defend here, he's safe. That wall can get taken down, but obviously it'd be delayed so much that Revival would have trouble. But Revival, he's coming in, he's got a lot of infestors, but where are these infestors going? Ultimately, if they walk into this ball, they can die, so very, very glad the Revival has pulled those back, because that would almost be game-ending, losing all of those at this stage. And, well, Hive is coming out, so this is looking like it could be some kind of infestor play, but no Spire started yet, so Broodlords aren't going to be out for a while, which leaves the only other option obviously being High Templar. The 3-3 upgrades aren't even anywhere close to being ready, so I'm a bit surprised the Revival is going for this Hive quite so quickly. The +3 Protoss ground weapons on the way out, so that is going to be +2 against +1 at the moment, and there's going to be +3 against 2-1. So that's not really... The BabyKnight's definitely got the upgrade advantage. He's in a good spot. Here come out all of those warp gates, and it's going to look like it's a bit of a push coming out from Revival, but with those force fields it's going to be fine. Wanted to get vision of the high ground, and that's exactly what he does with this Overseer, and just floods with infested Terrans. Great use of the map from that little cliff there, and now this natural base is going to be in a lot of trouble. Actually quite surprised the infested Terrans are focusing down the gas as opposed to anything else, but obviously this does distract attention away for BabyKnight, and obviously Revival's going to come and try and take this out, but how much can these Infested Terrans do? Apparently not too much. If we look at the Lost tab, well, actually they're picking off 1 or 2 units, and everything Infested Terrans pick off is good, because obviously Infested Terrans, they don't cost anything other than energy, but again, all these photon cannons, they're going to get taken down, and this is really irritating for BabyKnight to deal with, because the more he tries to defend, the more areas he tries to cover, the harder it is. He's lost quite a few. How many workers has he actually lost? Only 4, so the worker kill count isn't too high, but obviously anything these Infested Terrans kill is essentially free. If we look at the Lost tab, looking very, very comfortable with almost double the resources lost for BabyKnight at the moment. And this 4th base up very securely, 2 spines and a spore. Every Zerg player, take note of this. 2 spines and a spore at every expansion past your 3rd, because, well, it means you're safe, it means you're defended. Going into the late game, I personally also think it's a great move getting 2 spines and a spore just at every base, because that way you're safe from drops, and you don't have to worry too much if just 1 drop comes in, plus 3 ground carapace on the way. We've also got the Ultralisk Cavern and the Baning Nest, so this is a very, very melee heavy army. We've got 2 spines and a spore, the natural, and a spine and a spore at the 3rd, so brilliant, brilliant play here by Revival, exactly what I think is necessary to win. And he's also getting up the Adrenal Glands upgrade for the faster Zergling attack speed, very, very critical. That it's a really cheap upgrade, it researches quickly, and it makes Zerglings so effective. The Colossi are now out on the field. These Ultralisks are going to deal with them very, very well. Even the armor upgrade coming out, but these Colossi, they are plus 3 ground attack. We've got the Stargate coming out, which could indicate a mothership on the way. But to be honest, this is a lot of Infestors, a lot of very upgraded Ultras are about to pop, and with the Zerglings as well, that could be a really difficult force for BabyKnight to deal with at the moment, because these Stalkers, they're not going to engage well against either Zerglings or those Ultras, and once you get fungal growth in there, the Ultras can get in range. The Banings are there as well, they could do a lot of damage very, very quickly. May even try and bust through here to the 3rd. Obviously Revival now maxed out, he's got his 5th base up, and he's come to it. It's a 5 base Zerg against the 3 base Protoss, which obviously favours Revival. Revival maxed out, BabyKnight not quite yet, getting more Immortals out, which will deal well with the Ultras until we get some really, really good fungal growths, which with 10 Infestors, all at very high energy, we're going to see some awesome stuff. The Neural Parasites there as well. Will he try to Neural Parasite those Colossi? Well, that would be beautiful if he did manage that. Of course, this Hallucinated Phoenix getting a good count, and suddenly we're going to see BabyKnight quite right, but the Zergling's going to come in, force a cancel up at this base. Obviously, these are plus 3, about to be 3-2 ground melee upgrades, and obviously the Adrenal Glands is finished. Meanwhile, we've got BabyKnight rapidly trying to work out, how do I defend this? But likewise, we've got Revival saying they're thinking, how do I push into this? This isn't a great place to push, it's quite a narrow choke. Essentially, the only way BabyKnight can hold this is with some really, really good fungal growths. And here we go, lovely blink forward. That does catch a lot of Infestors off guard. Then in come all of the Ultras, and this is absolutely decimating this force. The fungal growths are perfect, allowing those Infestors to get a good surround and just deal damage after damage. The Colossi aren't too good against Ultras, and even one Immortal getting Neural Parasited, so it can deal damage to those Colossi. And essentially right there, Revival could have won 58 Zerglings, reinforcing 7 more Ultralisks as well, while taking a 6th base. Things couldn't actually be going any better at all now for Revival. These 3 Colossi aren't effective against this many Ultralisks at all. They can kite the Ultras, but essentially it's not something you want to try too much, because you do take damage, as you can see. If that Colossi does go down, that'd be pretty damn bad, but just very, very low HP. The Zerglings do get surrounded, they get 1 Colossi, 2 Colossi kill, and if that 3rd Colossi goes down, this force could die to the Zerglings alone, and the Colossi does fall. The Stalkers are pulling back, but to be honest, this is really not fun in the slightest for BabyKnight, who's now lost all of his Colossi, which are the only way to deal with those mass Zerglings. The Zerglings have got plus 3 on their way. They're coming up here to check for the 4th base out of BabyKnight yet again. BabyKnight is mined out at his main, nearly getting really low at his natural as well, so he's going to be down to 1 mining base very shortly. But obviously, Revival, he's got, well, 1 mining base, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th he hasn't even started on yet, so he's on a good solid 3 mining bases at any time. He's just exactly what he wants. Baneling's getting morphed in here, and the Banelings themselves are really, really effective. There's only 2 sentries in the mix, so not many force fields, and Archon is being morphed in, and we've even got the +1 flyer attack on its way now, so This is all getting pretty scary for BabyKnight. He's definitely a lot lower in the army supply. If we take a look at the income, well, Revival, he's definitely pushing it on the income advantage. And here we go, we've got the Zerglings going up. A great set of force fields though, and that is the one issue that Revival does have to deal with, is force fields. Doesn't want to get those Zerglings trapped because they just get shredded by the Colossi. And to be honest, Revival's in this nice spot where as long as he denies this base, which he can with a Burrowed Zergling for pretty much ever, it means that eventually BabyKnight's going to run out of money. And once that happens, he can win because Revival's going to have loads of cash and he can keep going. But we do have Revival going to have to deal with BabyKnight's army any second. Some good fungal growth to go off. Banelings do come in. They detonate on pretty much everything. Those Colossi will need to get taken down. One Neuroparasited Immortal is in there, and well, these Colossi, they are getting shredded by these Ultras, but it looks like BabyKnight is going to be able to hold this and actually come out quite well here. But obviously 2 Colossi did go down there. The resources lost have only 3,000 more resources lost for BabyKnight, but obviously Revival has got an excess of income over that. He is now just stone mining from the 6th base. He is in a good spot. What is the actual work count? 75 to 76, so good amount of workers to be going off. Really, what does Revival do now? I saw the +1 weapon upgrade, so he must have a Spire somewhere. There we go, he's actually got double Spire, but hasn't started Great Spire. I would love to see that come out, because obviously then you can get Broodlords, and Broodlords would really wreck this army because there's so many Immortals coming out trying to deal with the Ultras. 6 Ultras though on the way at the moment, adding on to the already 5 which are there. The 4th base for BabyKnight still trying to come up again. Will it get denied for a 3rd time? I believe if it does, that'd be super good. So what's the count? 9 Ultras, going to be 12 very shortly, to what is probably going to be 9 Infestors as well. What is the Zergling count like? Only 18. The Zerglings aren't going to be too effective all while these Colossi are there, but it is +3 weapon, 5 armor for these Ultras, so these Ultras absolutely terrifying. The only thing that really scares them are these Immortals, which do 65 damage per hit to armored, so that's pretty scary and something that Revival needs to deal with. Neuroparasite has been super effective in dealing with it so far. Obviously, if you have the Immortals yourself, they deal a great amount of damage against both the Colossi and the Stalkers, so definitely worthwhile doing. A lot of Banelings getting morphed in here, and Revival yet again maxed out. What can he do? We've got Infestors up here. Are we going to see a big lockdown of Infested Terrans? That is exactly what we may see any second. We may just wait until probes transfer and just get a load of probe kills as well, which will be equally effective. The Fleet Beacon on its way out now for BabyKnight, and really BabyKnight needs that mothership out. But a good little engagement here. Those Ultras aren't able to get in. Does deal a lot of damage, but a Neuroparasite goes off on the Archon. A good fungal growth everywhere, but these Ultras aren't quite able to get in where they want. And the Banelings detonating on the Immortals, and now a lot of those Immortals have gone down. That is a good position for BabyKnight to actually be in now, because he's cleaned out all of those Ultras, and even though all the Immortals are gone, the Infestors are getting cleaned up very nicely. Still waiting to see if a big Infested Terran drop comes down there. A 7th base coming down now for Revival. I think it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is right, so 7 bases on the way. Here come down all the Infested Terrans. A massive warp in. That is 9 warp in simultaneously, and effectively these Infested Terrans are just able to go for a great blink micro. They're trying to pick off any and every probe they can. That's a great choice to make there. But see, more probes are transferring across, and the natural's mined out, the main's mined out, so it's really just these 2 bases. If we look at the income tab, it's very much in Revival's favour, who is now up to 83 harvesters, so gonna need to start getting some spines soon, just building spine walls various places just to be on the safe side. These 4 Colossi though, they're gonna become difficult to deal with. I'm actually quite surprised we haven't seen a switch to Broodlords. I'd love to see Revival get that Great Spire out. He's got the money to, he's definitely got the gas to, so a little bit curious why he hasn't, but we're going to see another drop of Infested Terrans down here. Just a couple, but this is enough to be very irritating. They will get a probe or 2 kill, especially if BabyKnight isn't watching. They got quite a few kills there. They may actually just try and target down the Assimilator, but all of these Colossi are coming back, and this is great. I have to say, Revival, all through this game, he's been utilising the high ground so well. He's done some lovely drops from here. Also, there was that beautiful Infested Terran lob he did from here right at the early game using an Overseer for the vision. That was so effective. If we actually look at the worker kill count, 26 to 0. And this is really the trouble. The Great Spire just started now. That's absolutely essential. So glad to see that coming down. Meanwhile, one Stalker just coming up here, just a single Stalker on its own. But of course, we will see that Revival's pulled all of his army to deal with this. Has to be a bit careful because, well, there's just so much stuff here at the moment, and he doesn't want to lose this base. It's really essential because if this base goes down, this back base will go down, and then, well, Revival could be in a bit of problems. This I love. Expand at opposite sides of the map. But look at this arc. This is looking absolutely beautiful. And how much is he going to be able to do? Well, he's pulling back, but obviously the longer this goes on, BabyKnight starts getting a nicer and nicer army to deal with. Some Archons getting neural parasited there. And here we go. We've got more neural parasites going off everywhere. Look at all of them. All of these Archons have been engaged, and now Sunny BabyKnight looking to be in a huge amount of trouble because so much of his army is now actually Revival's army. All the Colossi do go down, all these Archons are going down so quickly, and well, I've never seen an Archon actually survive longer than about a second with no shields, but these Ultras just on their own, there's not enough Stalkers here to deal with it all. They're just basically continually pushing forward, and now that Archon's gone down, there's just such an amount of loss for BabyKnight. Now Revival is 100 supply ahead. He's done another Infested Terran drop down here. Now up to 38 probe kills. That takes the probe count to 48 to 82. So much income. If we look at the income, just look at that. That is sick. That is absolutely crazy. And, well, really Revival, he's pretty much going to win this game now. He's going to have to do something pretty crazy to not win, actually. He's got to the point where it is much more of a case of not winning. Some Zealots did take out this cross base, but a couple of Zerglings should be able to do it. These are 3-1-1 Zealots against 3-3 Zerglings with Adrenal Glands, so that takes a lot to deal with. These Infestors still just endlessly going to harass this fourth base from the high ground there. And if we look at the actual army, well, if we look at army supply, it's 40 to 115, nearly 3 times as much army for Revival here. Revival can pretty much A-move with some good fungal growths on these Blink Stalkers. They're the only threat. May actually see Revival just go for this fourth base. He's done another drop of Infested Terrans, and there's the GG from BabyKnight. So, well, we did see that Revival does take the series 2-0 and will advance forward. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this cast, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube. That'd be awesome. I get casts up daily, always really awesome games like this, so do check that out. Also, any comments or criticisms below in the comment section would be fantastic, but most importantly, I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope you'll come back again. See you soon, guys.